He thought buying travel insurance was the smartest decision of his entire trip. He was wrong, very wrong. Because the insurance company that promised protection would soon refuse to pay a single dollar. And suddenly, one medical emergency became a financial nightmare. The traveler's name was Hassan, 34 years old, married, father of 2 children, and finally taking the international vacation he had dreamed about for years. The destination was Europe, a beautiful multi-country trip, France, Germany, Italy, everything carefully planned, everything carefully budgeted. Flights booked, hotels reserved, train tickets purchased, travel insurance purchased. And honestly, that last step made him feel completely safe. After all, that is why people buy insurance: protection, security, peace of mind. At least that is what Hassan believed. For the first week, everything went perfectly. Beautiful cities, historic landmarks, amazing food, family video calls, photos everywhere. The trip felt magical. Every day seemed better than the previous one, and honestly, Hassan believed nothing could go wrong. Then one evening, something unexpected happened. While walking through a crowded area in Germany, he suddenly felt dizzy, very dizzy. His vision became blurry, his legs felt weak, his breathing changed, and before he understood what was happening, he collapsed. Everything changed in one moment. People rushed toward him, emergency services were called, an ambulance arrived quickly. Medical staff asked questions: blood pressure, symptoms, medical history. Everything happened fast, too fast. Hassan barely understood what was happening. But one thing comforted him: travel insurance. He kept repeating that thought. I have insurance. I am covered. Everything will be okay. Those words helped him stay calm, at least temporarily. The ambulance transported him to a nearby hospital, and honestly, that was the beginning of a much bigger problem. Doctors immediately started treatment: blood tests, heart monitoring, medication, additional examinations. Hours passed, then more hours. Hospital staff worked professionally. Everything felt organized. Everything felt reassuring. Eventually, doctors stabilized his condition. Good news. Very good news. The emergency was no longer life-threatening. Hassan felt relieved. His family felt relieved. The worst was over. Or at least, that is what everyone believed. But then something shocking happened. The hospital provided the first estimate: thousands of euros. Thousands. For one medical emergency. For one hospital visit. For one unexpected health problem. Hassan felt nervous, but not terrified, because he still believed insurance would pay. That was the entire purpose of buying the policy: protection, coverage, financial security. Everything seemed under control, until he called the insurance company. The representative sounded friendly, professional, calm, helpful, at first. Then the conversation changed. The representative asked several questions, specific questions, detailed questions, questions Hassan never expected. What medication were you taking before traveling? Did you have any previous symptoms? Have you ever discussed this condition with a doctor? The questions felt strange, almost suspicious, and honestly, Hassan started feeling uncomfortable. Then came the sentence that changed everything. We need to review the claim. Review the claim. Simple words, but those words started a nightmare. Most travelers never realize this. Insurance companies do not automatically approve every claim. Many claims face investigation, review, verification, additional documentation requests, and sometimes, rejection. Days passed. The hospital bill remained unpaid. The insurance company requested more information: medical records, doctor reports, prescription history, travel documents, everything. Hassan cooperated fully, because he had nothing to hide. Nothing. And honestly, he still believed approval was coming. Then came another request, and another, and another. The process became exhausting, confusing, stressful. His vacation ended. He returned home, but the claim remained unresolved. Weeks passed. No final decision, no reimbursement, no payment, only uncertainty. And honestly, uncertainty became torture. Most travelers believe insurance exists to remove stress, but claim disputes often create new stress entirely. Financial stress, emotional stress, family stress, future travel stress. Everything starts changing. Then one morning, the email arrived. The email Hassan had been waiting for. The email he expected would bring relief. Instead, it brought disaster. The claim had been denied. Denied. One word. One devastating word. Hassan stared at the screen, then read the email again and again. And honestly, he thought there had been a mistake. But there was no mistake. The insurance company refused to pay. The entire claim rejected. Thousands of euros suddenly became Hassan's responsibility. His hands started shaking. His heart raced. His mind stopped processing information. The nightmare had become real. Most travelers never imagine this scenario. They assume insurance equals protection. Always. Automatically. Guaranteed. But insurance contracts contain conditions, limitations, exclusions, requirements. And those details matter. A lot. The company explained its decision. The medical emergency was connected to a pre-existing condition. That phrase changed everything. Pre-existing condition. Most travelers hear those words. Few understand them completely. And honestly, many discover their importance too late. Years earlier, Hassan mentioned similar symptoms during a routine medical appointment. Nothing serious, nothing dangerous, nothing requiring treatment, just a brief discussion. A simple mention. One small note inside a medical file. That note became the reason for rejection. The insurance company argued the condition existed before travel, therefore coverage limitations applied, therefore the claim was denied. Everything changed because of paperwork. Most travelers never read insurance exclusions carefully, because insurance documents are long, complicated, boring, difficult. People focus on prices instead. Cheap insurance, fast approval, instant certificates, quick purchases. But emergencies reveal the hidden details, the fine print, the exclusions, the restrictions, the uncomfortable realities. And honestly, those details become important when money is involved. Very important. Hassan tried appealing. He submitted additional documents, additional explanations, additional evidence. He fought the decision. Weeks became months. The stress continued. Hospital payment reminders arrived regularly. Every email increased anxiety. Every letter increased pressure. Every notification reminded him of the problem. And honestly, the emotional impact became worse than the medical emergency itself. His family noticed changes. Sleep problems, constant worry, financial fear, frustration. Travel memories disappeared. Only the bill remained. Many travelers underestimate financial stress, especially international medical debt, because the numbers feel unreal until they become personal. Then everything changes. Imagine planning a dream vacation, saving money for years, finally traveling abroad, then returning home with debt instead of memories. That reality happens more often than people realize, especially when insurance misunderstandings exist. And misunderstandings are common, very common. Some travelers assume every emergency is covered. Others assume all policies are identical. Many believe the cheapest policy offers the same protection as premium coverage. That assumption becomes dangerous, because policies vary dramatically. Coverage limits differ, exclusions differ, claim procedures differ, emergency assistance differs, everything differs. Two policies may look similar, but perform completely differently during emergencies. That difference becomes obvious when something goes wrong, not before. Before emergencies, everything looks fine, everything looks covered, everything looks safe. Then reality arrives, and reality is expensive, very expensive. Hospital bills in Europe can be significant. Hospital bills in America can be enormous. Ambulance services, emergency rooms, medical imaging, specialist consultations, hospital admissions, medication, everything adds cost. And those costs grow quickly, especially for tourists, especially without strong insurance protection. Hassan eventually learned another painful lesson. Claim denial does not always mean fraud. Many people assume denial means dishonesty. Not necessarily. Sometimes misunderstandings occur. Sometimes documentation problems exist. Sometimes exclusions apply. Sometimes travelers simply misunderstand coverage. That misunderstanding can cost thousands. And honestly, education becomes essential. Every traveler should understand their policy. Coverage limits, medical exclusions, claim procedures, emergency contact requirements, everything. Before departure, not after an emergency. Because after an emergency, options become limited, very limited. Most people spend more time researching hotels than insurance. Think about that. Hours comparing hotel reviews, hours comparing airline tickets, hours comparing restaurants, then only minutes reviewing insurance. That habit creates risk, significant risk. Insurance protects against unlikely events, but unlikely events happen every day, to someone, somewhere, without warning. Hassan now approaches travel differently, very differently. He reads policies carefully, coverage details, medical conditions, exclusions, emergency procedures, everything. Because experience taught him what advertisements never could. Insurance is only valuable when it actually works, and understanding coverage determines whether it works. Today, Hassan tells every traveler the same thing. Never assume, never guess, never trust marketing alone. Read the policy, understand the exclusions, know the limits, ask questions. Because one misunderstanding can create enormous financial consequences. And honestly, most travelers never realize this until it is too late. Travel should create memories, not debt, not stress, not financial panic. Preparation matters, awareness matters, understanding matters, especially when travel insurance is involved. Because the most dangerous insurance mistake is not buying the wrong policy. The most dangerous mistake is believing you are protected when you are not. Before your next trip, ask yourself one important question. If an emergency happened tomorrow, would your insurance company actually pay? Or would you discover the answer when it is already too late? Disclaimer: this story is presented for travel awareness and educational purposes. Individual insurance policies vary significantly by provider, coverage level, country, medical history, and policy terms. Always read your insurance documents carefully and consult your provider directly before travel. Subscribe to Global Policy Guide for travel safety, visa updates, insurance awareness, and real travel risk stories.